I know it's been a while since I filed anything, posted anything online, and I've been kind of busy. I really have. And it's been a challenge. But what I don't understand is this right here. And I kind of get it, but I want your thoughts on it. You know, the number of pro se litigants are growing steadily every year. The increase of filing cases with pro se litigants grow. So this tells me that in federal and in state court. So this tells me that people are literally taking charge of their cases. They're not hiring attorneys. Give you a good case in point. I had to file something recently. And the attorney, I hired an attorney, and the attorney went and filed something to get paid, but he didn't file nothing on my behalf. And when I asked him, I went and asked him, I said, hey, I thought you were supposed to file something on my behalf. He said, no, you do all of that. And I said, okay, well, I've already turned in all the necessary documents. I already did that. I had to go through the interview process. So my question was, what did I need you for? Because the attorney was going to get 20% of whatever that I collected, whatever, if I collected. So, like I said, a lot of people are taking charge with their cases and bringing constitutional questions. Now, I'm not going to lie. When pro se people, I've been in court again with pro se people, and it tends that some people actually, they know little, or they go into what God said, quoting Bible scriptures and all of that. I get it. I really get it. But there are also pro se litigants who are doing their really legal research. They're doing their briefs more professional than some attorneys. And with that being said, I think it scares the judiciary system that you could take somebody who went to school and went to law school. You don't know if he a C or D student, but he went to law school. He got a job. And versus somebody who is really doing legal research, don't have no backup, and doing and really fighting and litigating their case. That's what scares people. I look at it like this. Whenever I hear a judge say this to me, I know it's finna go left field. You're very articulate. Yeah, because I be creative in my briefs. I express in my briefs. I paint a picture of what's really going on in my briefs. Then when I get up, like pro se litigants, a lot of them, some, you got some that's out there. They go to court and they dress like this. They go to court and they got all their jewelry on. They go to court and they dress very like they going to a club, or like they going to like this. This right here to me is unacceptable going to court. If you can't afford an outfit, go to the thrift store. I mean, I did it. Still do it. I go and I find designer bag. You know what? I promise you. I walked in a courtroom because I'm going to tell you something. With black judges and black attorneys, when I go in, normally the black men are mesmerized. Well, I take that back. Men are mesmerized by what, especially if I could, like the expungement of your bankruptcy. That is something that you can go ahead and do and just whatever. But a lot of judges, white and black, they look at you with disgust if you know your facts, know your law, and yet they have spent all them years going to law school, going this, going that, getting that profession, and then somebody like me, no degree, come up and start telling them recent cases, not cases versus long time ago. Recent cases. Recent. So there's a stigma behind pro se litigants. And that's something that we as citizens, we need to start addressing. Now, whether you want to take your case to court by yourself or get an attorney, a lot of people say, well, I wouldn't do it by myself. Now, criminal, no, I wouldn't. No, I'll go get an attorney and I'll be up on him because that's my freedom. But in civil cases, especially civil cases, I'm just gonna keep it real. You know what? I try to be very on top and on point of things because I've been on both sides of the legal field. I've worked with attorneys, and then I've had to defend myself from attorneys in cases, not criminal cases, but civil cases. And I hear the same thing. I have people that try to contact me because they it's the same thing. Attorneys don't call. They want their money. And then when they charge you, and then when you call, you never really find out anything about the case. And then all of a sudden, before the time expired, he has settled for something that you probably nickels and dimes on stuff. And if you black, no, they don't think that you can be discriminated on a job. You're not worthy of getting the same amount as a counterpart because you ought to be glad you have a job. Well, what you complaining about? Take credit, for instance. You know what? I'm part of the data breach. My credit, somebody been taking my identity almost to the point where they're me. But the federal court says that, you know what? Well, you ain't suffered enough. See, we got a Second Amendment of the Constitutional versus the First. Because you got to realize our forefathers was not George Washington or any other. I see, I'm having brain freeze. Our forefathers was not those who wrote the Constitution. Our forefathers were the ones that they said that we were 1/4 of a human, that we wasn't even human. We were considered property. So we can't sit here and say our forefathers was being beaten and whooped and picking cotton. But we piggybacking off of somebody else's forefathers who meant to have that they have the right, the duty. It's just over time that the laws have evolved to include us. But it's not like they gave it to us. We've had to fight and die for that. And it's amazing that pro se litigants, there's a lot of the Ninth Circuit. They started doing impact on how pro se litigants are to be held in court. The Supreme Court has dealt with pro se litigants fighting their case. Supreme Court had to remind the appellate courts and district court how they need to treat pro se litigants. So why is it with all of that stuff that's going on that pro se litigants still have a hard time getting to court? Easy. Loopholes. Well, if you ain't doing your legal research, then they can give you what they call the appearance of justice. It goes both ways. See, they can give you that appearance of justice to make you look like that they doing everything. I've heard pro se litigants, and I've been a victim of it, get in court and he yelling at the defendants. Oh, he yelling at them. Oh, you should have did that. You should have did that. Then he go in the back and rule with them. That's an appearance. He wants you to think, oh, that judge, he lit into that so-and-so. Then he go back there and sign that order that has nothing to that been there, done that. Or you miss so-and-so, did you go to college? Well, yes, sir, I did. Are you trying to be a lawyer? No, sir, I'm not. Have you been to law school? No, sir, I haven't. I need you to have the person that's typing that up. I need you to have him in court next week. Well, Your Honor, you ain't got to wait that far. Just look right there. I've had federal employees go off on me because you know what? They read what I wrote and then turn around. They had to see who it was that wrote it. You could tell. Everybody coming from the back want to see who wrote that. Then when they see it's some gray-haired black woman, oh, Lord, no. Especially in the South, it's hard to believe that a black person can actually do something that is more of an impact. That's what you face. I mean, it's good if you pro se litigant. And a lot of people say, oh, well, pro se litigants, what they say, a fool for a client. Anybody that have something is a fool for a client. But I'm going to tell you something. In some of these cases, it may be better to be a fool. Because you got to realize something. These lawyers now are not basing it. Many of them are not basing. We talking about the C and D and trying to get by lawyers. They're not basing it on law. They based it on they got a relationship with the judge. They got a relationship with the clerk. Don't say no, that ain't true. Because it is true. Because in some places I have a relationship with the clerk. I have a relationship with the judge. I have a relationship with another attorney. So you can't sit and say, well, no. Yes, it is. It's a network. It's a network. And I'm going to tell you something. Please don't think that it's not. Because when you have enough evidence to save your home, to say that you've been violated, to say that you've been going through something, that you are injured, and the court is steady taking their time, you filing motions, and they doing stuff all outside of court. Because keep in mind now, the court is supposed to protect you not only doing inside, is when they do their sneaky stuff outside. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. I'm keeping it real. Outside. But they give you that appearance. But then if you act like you know something, you know more, now this is finna change. It's not you and the defendants. It's you and the judge and the defendants. The judge is the key player. It's just like when you be seeing people play football and then all of a sudden the referee call a play that that it wasn't even a play, but he called it. So what do you do when you fight your case? Because I'm gonna tell you something, and if you get a good lawyer, you're gonna pay some money. Good lawyers fight. And then you got them poor ones that just need to, they doing the same thing you doing. They need to pay their bills. They got student loans. They got a wife. They got a car note. They trying to hustle their money. How you find out that? Look at the lawyer's shoes. Look at the shoes. His shoes will tell you everything you need to know. The shoes, you say, Samantha, why you say that? Shoes tell you everything you need to know. You got a lawyer that shoes look like he found them somewhere and they was on a dead body and they just picked them. He just picked them up and put them on. He's struggling. Good lawyers wear nice shoes. They wear nice shoes. Why? Because they got to be on their feet. They got to walk around. They got to do this. But when you see somebody who got some shoes that look like they came from when he graduated from high school, he still got them. They crooked to the side. The heeling wore off. He don't go get them shine. Nothing like that. You got a bad lawyer. You got a hungry lawyer. And he's not looking at the interest of your case. He's trying to prolong something to get paid. That's just like, have you ever went to court and all of a sudden you get this continuous, it's been going on for a year and it's continuing. And then all of a sudden it seems like it either you get a lesser charge or they disappear or whatever, and then boom. That's because he telling the judge, you know what? I didn't get paid. I'm waiting on a pay. That's just like if you file bankruptcy. People don't believe this. When you file bankruptcy, your creditors don't get the money first. They don't get that first. Your lawyer gets it. Your lawyer can charge $3,000. Your house note won't see a dime of that until you pay him, because he gonna make him an unsecured creditor, unsecured creditor prioritize. He gonna make it priority. That he gets his first. Then your house note, and then all the other good stuff. But like I said, then he got to pay the trustee. And I'm gonna tell you something. Even with that, trustees now they get paid. And if they don't see money in that right now, they don't want to be bothered with you. I don't care if you file bankruptcy or not. That's why they like for you to have all them bills and stuff like that. But being pro se, please don't let that make you feel like being pro se is a bad thing. It's not. There's some courts that have pro se clinics. Now they don't. I'm gonna tell you something. They don't tell you. They got lawyers there. They don't give you no legal advice. Some of them don't even tell you really where to go and how to do it. But I guess they just there. They don't want to be liable. See, nobody really wants to be liable for stuff that they do that may come back on them, especially if they telling you a lie. They don't want to be liable. They don't. Right now, I'm working on a case where, the defendants lied to two federal agents. Two federal agencies lied to the judge, caught up on it. She's a partner. See, that's the difference. When you work, there's a difference. Been lying to 3 federal people. Now, I'm going to just tell you something that I researched and learned. It's called Quantam. You say, well, what is Quantam? Now, this is for educational purposes, and I'm not a lawyer when I say this. A Quantam is when you can file a suit on behalf of the United States. You got to you have to send the United States. How you do it is that when somebody makes a false statement in the courtroom about a federal law, like to a federal agency, EEOC, Homeland Security, just throwing it out there, you can file what they call a Quantam. Quantam means that you give the United States a chance to defend it. United States say, I don't want to defend it. Supreme Court says that even if they say they don't want to defend it, they can't dismiss it. The United States, then you sue on behalf of the United States. So you become the United States. That's what a Quantam is. That's what a Quantam is. Give a case in point real quick. I worked for a company. I'm over 40. And I'm a diabetic. I always let people know I'm a diabetic. I always let people know I am a diabetic. You say, well, why? Why you let them know? Because if anything should happen to me, where I have to go to the doctor, I have to go more than one place and stuff like that, because I have, I need to be protected. Now, a lot of people say, well, when I get a job, they say, well, Samantha, don't worry about it, because, you being, we'll protect you. We'll look out for you. We family. No, you are not my family. This is business. And when you start going on these jobs, that's what you got to look at. You ain't family to them. You business. It's all about business. That's it. So anyway, I filed a charge against them. And I ended up, they ended up reporting me being a natural born citizen. They said that I was not a legal resident. I was not legal to do work in the United States. They reported me to Homeland Security. I'm going to tell you something. Them 7 months, I'm going to tell you them 7 months that I went through, I was scared. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I wasn't. I was scared. And the reason why I was scared is because paperwork and computer stuff get mixed up all the time. Hackers and everything. All somebody had to do was report me to a different department. U.S. Marshals could have came here and put me in detention. Here I am, an American citizen. And what can I say? Because even though I have a legal birth certificate, everybody say, well, you got a legal birth certificate. You can just show. No, When they issue a warrant, they don't go and say, oh, well, you know what? I'm sorry. We didn't mean to do that to you. We figured that somebody got it right, got it wrong. And we just gonna let you stay here. You make sure you go down there and report it. No, they don't do that. When you got a warrant on you, they're not trying to hear that you went somewhere and did something. They're not trying to hear that, oh, I got to get it straight now. They're going to put you in a jail cell or somewhere, and then you and the court system and whoever it is have to figure that out. Their job is to get you and put you somewhere. So 7 months, I was sitting here, I'm scared, and who has a name like Roger Posky in America? Very few that I know. So I'm sitting up here, I'm writing them, I'm sending them cease and desist letters. Please, clear this up, clear it up. So I am like literally going through hell, a living hell. So now we're in court. Now, wait a minute, go back. Lied to EEOC. Said that I had a job. They were just waiting on me. I'm just lazy. I didn't want to come back to work. Okay. 2 false statements. So now we in court. Waiting. Okay, said I was a disciplinary person. They had all these disciplinaries on me and oh my goodness, said I had, okay, we in court now. Where are they? Where are they? You said I was a bad person. Now they don't want to submit no evidence. Now all of a sudden, I asked them nicely. No, they object. Okay, so I did the discovery, still objecting. Okay, well, now I'm doing a subpoena. Now they trying to object. Well, wait a minute now. Wait, whoa. But you said I was this bad person. I didn't want to work. None of this stuff happened. You would have thought they would have been glad to give me my personnel record and all of that. But see, now companies now are firing you without actually calling you in the office now. They don't do that no more. What they do is they do it through the IT department. That's how they fire you now. But see, now that's how they fire you. They just cut off all your credentials. If you got a badge to go in, they cut your badge off. Security come and, they get all the stuff. And you don't get your check until you produce something like that. That's how that works. But see, I'm pro se. I'm not supposed to know this method and then get somebody to actually submit a testimony to this fact. See, I'm pro se. I'm not supposed to know that. I'm not supposed to figure that out. I'm not supposed to ask for production of your IT department. No. So being pro se, you fight your case. Take yourself out of it. Put you as a third party. Start talking to yourself about. Brainstorm with yourself. If you got to ask somebody. Does this make sense? If it don't, go to your researches. Because now, being pro se, we're putting these attorneys on alert. You making some of them do a job. And that's a scary thing. That they actually went to school. You making folks who just sit at a bench and go through all that. Well, yeah. Now you making them do some I made the judge do at least some research on it. You make attorneys do research on that. You make them notice you. When you start doing your legal research. And again, I'm going to say this. And don't go to court looking any kind of way. I don't. I have my makeup on. I have a lot of makeup on. I wear very little jewelry. I may wear earrings. But it's 3 things you need to wear if you're going to court. Blue, black, and brown. And if I'm finna get ready to be aggressive in what I'm finna do, I wear just a smidget of red. Maybe a red pen, the red this. It's something to let them know I'm taking charge now. And you ain't even got to say, Yana, I want to take charge. Yana gonna start asking, what, tell me what's going on. But if you go in that court acting like you don't know what to do, how to do it, you're not gonna pass. And if you not sure about what you're doing, don't answer them. Now let me think about it. No, counsel, this don't even smell right. Let me do some research on it. See, I be professional until I don't have to be professional. You don't have to cuss an attorney out. So just tell them. You know what you're telling me. I'm gonna go research it. You know what you're doing. I'm gonna go research it. You know what you said. I'm gonna go research it. And you don't have to prove their case and yours. The Supreme Court already said what all you have to do. Read the notes. Stop putting these judges on edge. Stop putting these attorneys on edge. Thinking that because you are pro se, that you don't know what you're talking about. That the law is so complex that you don't know how to decipher it. Go in there and go in there and make a difference. That's all it is. Go in there and make a difference on your case. Make a difference. Go in there and show them. And if he says something that's wrong, what's wrong with putting in there that he violating your rights? A lot of inmates do it. A lot of inmates put in there that the judge violated their rights. That they ain't got nothing to lose. And that's how we should be. We ain't got nothing to lose. We ain't got nothing to lose but our rights. That's all. So I want you to tell me, what do you think about this? What do you think? Even if you never go in court, always know your rights. And I'm going to say this, and this is for, I don't have no line. I'm going to say this, and I promise you, this is me being a black woman. If I got pulled over by the police, I'm going to keep my hands on that. The lawyers tell me this all the time, so I'm going to tell you this again. Keep your hands on the steering wheel. You ask for anything that you want to do. He said, roll down the window. Yes, sir. Roll it down so you can talk. Did you know you were speeding? Because see, I'm going to tell you something. All of them already on defense. You don't have to give them nothing to arrest you. Just have an attitude. This right here puts so many people in jail because they want to talk about the law. You know what? If somebody was violating my rights like that, yes, sir. I'm a diabetic. I keep a diabetic bracelet on at all times. Sir, I'm a diabetic. Will smell like you've been drinking, sir. I'm a diabetic. My sugar is up. Video it. He got body cam. You can get a copy of that. Yes, sir. Do you have your license and registration? Yes, sir. I got it on my phone. I got it on my wallet. There you go. Here you go. There you go. There go my insurance. Ma'am, you look like you've been drinking. No, sir, I haven't. If you go, you know what? If you've been drinking, take a Uber home. Get a cab. Do something. Because like I said, these officers now, they combated. They waiting on, and they waiting on you to clown, to snatch you up out of there and take you to jail. No, ain't nobody taking me to jail if I can help it. If I got passengers, if let's say my grandbaby's in the car, keep your hands. Tell my grandbabies, my grandbaby is 10 years old. You put your hands up. All y'all, everybody in the back, put your hands up. Kenny, put your hands on the dashboard. And I'm gonna tell them, Yana, I tell them, officer, I got my grandbaby. She's 13. Blah, blah. They minors. Don't get out the car. I don't care what. Don't, unless they tell you, don't you get out that car. Because I want all of us. Don't you get out the car. Then I'll fight it out of there. Whatever they do, I ain't gonna tell. And I never tell the officer, you know what? I'm finna call my lawyer. I'm finna sue you up. No, I never tell them that. That'll be a surprise. That'll be a Christmas present waiting to happen. I would never tell no officer, I'm finna sue you. I know my rights. You do whatever you gotta do. Yeah, I'm gonna cry when I get in that jail. I sure am. I'm gonna cry. But I'm gonna be saying, you know what? When I get out, all I gotta do is live through this. I take care of that. But no, I ain't gonna give no officer no. If he violate my rights, okay. Well, you finna do what? You say you smell marijuana on me. You do. I don't. Okay, Your Honor. If you, officer, you say you smell it. No, I don't consent you search my car. Well, I got probable cause. I'm gonna have to detain you. You go right ahead. I show that. I'm gonna sit in that car. I ain't gonna say nothing. Be rocking and singing to the Lord. Well, we found this and okay, well, all righty. Because first thing I'm going to ask for is that body footage. That's the first thing I'm asking. That's under the information freedom. I'm asking for that body footage. I sure am. That's the first thing I'm asking for. I ain't even going to file no lawsuit. I'm going to ask for that body footage now. Then I'm going to ask for the unedited footage when I go to court on. That's what I'm going to do. I'm helping somebody now with that. Asking for the footage, the edit, and the raw footage. That city attorney don't know how to call that woman. You know, he at work. He called that woman talking crazy to her. Because he wasn't expecting it. And she's pro se. I want to know what your thoughts. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on pro se litigants?